Here we are on July 11th, 2019, picking some pineapples out of the Wrong Way pineapple patch. This one, I'll show you this one where it came from. It's a pretty good sized plant. That's almost as big as a store one. Here you look, this one was picked 2 days ago. It's got the gold coming in. This one is a little more ripe. Picked a few days before that. You notice there's still some patches of green, so it's not fully ripe. I mean, it's obviously edible. This one is fully ripe. If you look, all the green is gone. The gold is beautiful. And this one as well. You can hardly find any green spotches at all. And those two are going to be so sweet and smelly when you cut them. These will be like store-bought. But these two are getting eaten soon. Now, this top was cut off of a plant 4 days ago. And you notice I cut them flush. I don't take any of the plant meat with them. Some web people will tell you to do that, but technically this plant is in the same family as Spanish moss. So it's an air plant, technically. And they are susceptible to getting rot, mold, mildew, fungus type of deals. But this was cut. When this was cut initially, it was a flush cut. And if you go look, you'll see little nodules protruding out, even though it's dry. So the waiting for a couple of days is interrupting the bacteria barrier, and these nodules are actually little root shoots wanting to come. So then when I want to plant this one, I'm going to pull off about 2 rows of these leaves, screw it in the ground, water it through the top, and make sure it's in a sunny spot. They do like lots of sun. Let's go out and look at the patch and see what we've got going on. This video was brought to you by WrongWay RC, maker of fine USA products. Okay, this pineapple, a couple years old, didn't have a fruit this year, but it will next year. They produce every 2 years. This pineapple produced 2 years ago, and now it's got a nice 3-pounder on there that will come off in a few weeks. But if you look, there's new shoots, and these in 2 years will become pineapples. I'm debating what I'm going to do. I might cut one of them off and stick it in the ground and see if it grows. But what happens is, if you have one fruit, it's going to be much beefier and heavier than 2 ones. The plant as a factory, it can only make so much, and so with 2 shoots, they will be smaller than one. So I might come in here with a knife and cut one of these out. But if you look, this will become, let's say this is the single, will become the new plant. And eventually all these guys here, all of these other ones will eventually slough off and wither, while this one becomes the new plant, looking like that. So they creep. They'll turn sideways. I might show you an example here in a minute. Look right here. Here's one that creeped. This plant has moved over. Can you see? There's the stump of the plant has moved over. Here's one that's creeped. So they creep because they're leaning over each time with the new shoot. And so every couple of years, in my interest, I might take one of these plants, pull it up, and reset it. These guys got hurt real bad from the cold winter. And we didn't have a freeze, but it was enough. I didn't cover them. It got down to 40 degrees for a week, and then another week. But just the same, this one will come out after the plant, which is not even hardly anything. But a lot of them are coming back for the second generation. Little itty bitty 1-pounders here, 1-pounders. But when they ripen, they're still just as good. See this one coming out of the ground right here next to it. So that's part of the root stock shooting out. That will grow big, and eventually I'll trim all this away. So we're looking, Mr. Lizard is trying. That one was planted earlier this year. It was a top that looked just look just like this. This one started to get little yellow dots on it. I'm watching it. It will come off in the next day or two. If I let them go too long, they must put out a smell, because then the raccoon comes and helps himself, and that's not good. So, nice little 1 3/4 pounder. So we look over here, the ones that didn't get hurt so bad from the winter, and we've got some beefy plants. So we've got pineapples. Now, if you can see, if there's enough light, that one over there has got the yellow or the gold starting to happen. It's going to come off probably tomorrow. This one here has some of the gold. This one doesn't, so it's got a few more days. This one does have the gold. So this is about the time when I got to pick them. I'd like to leave them on a couple more days, but then I have to worry about critters. Here's one right here. So my countertop's going to fill up in due order pretty quick. And so we're looking, notice if you can see the barbs on this guy. And if you rub your finger this way, nothing happens. If you run your finger that way, it's like a saw blade. It hurts. So getting in here pulling weeds and everything is very cautious. Now I have a strain over here that I got in the store once upon a time, and if you look, it has no barbs. This one is called chocolate something. And you can take your hand and nothing happens. So they have changed the strain on it where it doesn't have those barbs. By the way, pineapples originally came from Spain and Portugal. And a couple hundred years ago, they liked them. They planted them in Africa. They did good. They spread around the world. Obviously, everybody knows about Dole pineapple. Used to have pineapples in Hawaii, but now land is more premium, and they don't have that many. But we've got the plants going on. Now, look at the size of the head on this one. It's still a 2-pound plant, but the head has gotten so huge, and I think it's because I've been putting the fertilizer this season was going in the tops of these. So next season I'm going to fertilize them. When the plant is blooming, I'm going to fertilize them down here and see if the heads don't return to a normal size. But this guy here had such a long stalk that it fell over by weight. But I'll just leave it. It's coming off soon. But we've got, could have been better, but we've got a good harvest. There's another one with a long stalk that fell over, and if you look down here, you'll see that this plant has got a big old, there's part of the original from 3 or 4 years ago. So they creep. And if I take and dig that up and clean off the stuff that doesn't want to be and plant it straight back down in the ground, it's going to be better for the next year's harvest so they don't fall over like that. There's a good 3 pounds. So we've got them coming in. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, little itty bitty one in there, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Well, got a bunch. Plus I already picked a few of them. So that's it for 2019, the Wrong Ways pineapple patch. To some of my friends that have received them, I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you let them turn fully gold on your kitchen counter to enjoy exactly how good they can be. These stalks are from where ones came off, but you'll see, not yet here, but you'll see new growth. There's one right there with the new growth. And that will be the next center of the action in 2 years with another plant. Some of the big plants down there are over 10 years old, and for some reason that corner gets the most sunlight, and it really enjoys. They get big. Some of those plants are almost 5-6 feet from tip to tip. But anyway, the Wrong Way pineapple plant patch. Sharing a little video, as Tom Saris would say. Why don't you play with your pineapples or something? So Tom, this is for you. I am playing with my pineapples. And then this weekend, I will play with my airplanes. That's it for now. This is Wrong Way RC signing off. Look us up at wrongwayrc.com. Thank you.